Hi, everyone. Welcome to Friday Reflections. Today, I just want to share a quick reflection. The other day, we were listening to Louis Armstrong and the song What a Wonderful World. No doubt many of you maybe know that song, but the lyrics struck me, and let me share them with you. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And he goes on and he says, I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies crying, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. That song struck me. In part because it's a bit idealistic, of course, uh, but it hit me as I thought more about it, to ask myself the question and to ask you a question. What do you see when you see the world? What do you see when you see the skies, the clouds, the sun, the trees, the flowers, people walking by, talking to one another? What do you see, even in the dark night? What a wonderful world. If you pause for a moment, what a wonderful world we live in, that God has gifted us with, that God has given us responsibility over. In 2 Corinthians, Paul writes to the Corinthians, and he says to them, we once saw things through human eyes, but we do so no longer. Now we see things through the eyes of Christ because we are new creations. The Spirit of Christ is in us, in other words. And because the Spirit of Christ dwells in us, we are transformed from the inside out and we see the world differently. What do you see when you see the world around? Do you see a wonderful world? Or is it more pessimistic, or angry, or frustrated, or depressed? How do you see the world? Let me encourage you today to take Louis Armstrong's lyrics seriously and to take Paul seriously, that we see the world differently, and we should see a wonderful world through the eyes of Christ, in the people we interact with, in the people we see interacting with one another, in the clouds, in the trees, in the flowers, and in the dark night, in babies crying. What a wonderful world that we live in every moment. Sacred, blessed, full of opportunity and possibility because God is present. I hope today that you start to transform your vision and see a wonderful world and smile with joy at what you see around you that God has gifted us with. I want to leave you with a prayer from Colossians chapter 1. We pray that you would be filled with the knowledge of God's will, with all wisdom and spiritual understanding. We pray this so that you can live lives that are worthy of the Lord and pleasing to Him in every way, by producing fruit in every work and growing in the knowledge of God, by being strengthened through His glorious might, so that you can endure everything and have patience at all times, and by giving thanks with joy to the Father. That's my prayer for you and for me and for all of us today, that we would be strengthened in our understanding and be encouraged in our good works and give thanks to God through everything. We'll see you soon. Have a good day. Have a good weekend.